Hello from Beer Australia Reviews, and today we'll be sampling, tasting, and reviewing one of my favourite beers in the last decade in Australia, and that is Hop Hog, which comes from a Perth brewery called Feral. So the Feral brewery has been around since 2002. They make a range of like core beers and stuff. If you have a look at their website, it'll tell you what they do. They have their own distinctive style of can, as you can see. It's a bit quirky, but it works. And all of the beers tend to have like a wacky name on there as well. So this one is the Hop Hog, which is actually a pale ale. So it's Feral Pale Ale, but it just happens to be called Hop Hog. And Feral do like a range of really good beers. They're actually really well received in Perth. You can go into lots of places in Perth and you can actually find the Feral Hop Hog and some of their others actually on draft. So it's not just in cans, it's on draft as well. So now let's get the can out of the beer fridge. Really? Okay. So Feral it is. Right. Okay, you can't really mistake a Feral beer because they all look the same. They all got the same sort of a white can with the red and blue. Some of them have a little flash of the colours on there, but it's actually really well known and it's distinctive as well. So now, Feral beer, Feral Brewery, like I say, is one of my favourites. Every time I go into a pub and I see Feral on draft and they've got a choice of like a few other brands, like your mainstream brands, because the Feral is available in so many different places around Perth especially, I would always have a can of this above other things. So rather than go for any of those old standard lagers, you know, the sorts, your Swan Draft, your Emu, your VB, because it's available in just about everywhere, you can always get yourself a Feral Hop Hog, or you may sometimes get one of the other Feral beers, but the Hop Hog is just about the most popular one as well. Now, from the website, this particular one says it has citrusy flavours and hop aromas, rounded out with a solid malt backbone, and a farmload of American hops make Hop Hog a uniquely feral brew, just a little fruity. So, yeah, okay. So now let's get the thing open. Let's get it in the let's get the can in the glass. Oh, instant hits of hop aromas on that one. You can definitely get the hops coming through immediately. Now it's pouring quite clear, is this? It does have a little tiny bit of haze. There we go. There's the haze coming through now. So there is a little bit of haziness in a Hop Hog. Not much though. So it's more like a West Coast style than an East Coast style. I know this is a pale ale, not an India pale ale, but you know what I mean. That's one poured in. See, that looks good, and it smells good as well. Okay, it's looking nice. Like I say, it's immediately given me lots of those citrusy hop aromas. So they obviously put a lot of hops in, not just for bittering at the start, but they put a lot of hops in as well for like just the extra flavour. So they probably dry hop this one as well. Now, there's definitely I wouldn't class this one as being a tropical. But there's definitely some citrus in there, so there's definitely some additional flavours. It's quite complex, not just a basic citrus. It seems to have a little bit more going for it than some of the beers that are out there. So it's a nice clean taste. So despite the fact that they make this in Perth, well, they make it actually in the Perth Hills, but the water quality is just about the same in the Perth Hills as it is closer to the centre of Perth where I am. So they obviously well filter their water and stuff, and they then, I think they probably do treat this one. I don't know what sort of a water profile they use, but it tastes clean. Oh, here we go. Oh, very bitter across the tongue. This one, immediately there's like a a hint of like a grapefruity thing, but also this one tends to have like a maltier flavour than some of the other craft pale ales that are out there. If you compare this one with like a Little Creatures, tastes positively sweet by comparison to this thing, so this is far more bitter, far more maltier and deeper. It's very drying, it's very bitter, and there's a tang to it. It doesn't, I'm going to say, have the most complex of aftertastes. I think I would probably rate a cheeky monkey above this one, and possibly even though it's like a made in a similar sort of place but a little bit brighter, maybe like a nail pale ale, another one from the Perth region. I think that one has just a bit more complexity in it. I think they do a little bit more with hops, so I don't actually know what hops go into this one. I'd have to look it up. Another little thing about the Feral brewery as well, they sometimes do some events around the place. So a couple of years ago they came into, well, where I work, we had our local pub that we went into where we'd have all of the events that took place within the workplace. They would take place in the pub over the road, and one day they had the Feral brewery come and meet the brewer. So we had a great time, free beer for a whole night, drinking Feral beers. I liked Feral beers. I liked Feral beers before then when I paid for them, but a free night of Feral beers, that was yeah, bonus time. Okay, let's see if I can get anything more on this one. Starting to taste a little bit sweeter, but still the overall main hint on this one, it's bitter and it's malty, so there's less sweetness in this one than just about any other beer out there. It is really a really bittering sort of a note on this one. They obviously put a lot of hops in at the end of the sorry, they put a lot of hops in at the beginning and probably a little bit less at the end, so okay, let me see. So, from the website again, it says citrusy flavours and hop aromas, yes. Rounded out with a solid malt backbone, yes. I think it does. It does do what it says actually on the tin. Now, okay. So, the Feral Beer do another couple of Feral Brewery do another couple of beers which I really like as well. The one that's possibly the most famous that I will review in the coming weeks is called Biggie Juice. I think that one is the it's like a big IPA. So this is like a lighter style, but you wouldn't know it. So, okay. So in conclusion, then we've got the Feral Hop Hog Pale Ale. It's not the most complex, but it has everything in there that you need. It's citrusy. You get a very big bitterness across the tongue. It's tangy across the back, but overall it's very bitter, more bitter than some of them. But if you like a big flavoured beer, you will like this one. But it's far maltier. I don't know exactly what they do to make it taste so malty as this one, whether they just completely load it in with some extra grain in there, but it hits the spot. I really like a big malty beer. So this is actually, what's the strength on this one? It's 5.8%, but it actually feels like it's about 7 or 8. It's got that much malt in it. But I mean, 5.8 is still a big hit of beer. I prefer a lighter style beer. I prefer a smaller ale these days. But Hop Hog from Feral definitely remains one of my favourite beers, and it has been for the last decade since I've been in Perth. So, yep, Mr. Feral, thank you for making this beer. Yep, I'll definitely be trying some more, and I'll do the Biggie Juice quite soon. Yeah, so thanks for watching.